try to say Jeff Bezos say it, but I don't think so, is the price of advertising is the cost of an unremarkable product or service.
Yeah.
The price of advertising is the cost of an unremarkable product or service.
Man, you know what you said though, that's so fire that I never thought of. Well, I've thought of it, but not thinking of it as part of a marketing plan that you could have. But you said something, and I wrote it down. You said master retailers focus on employees. And I checked out of listening to you for like 45 seconds because my mind left you and it started thinking about Chick-fil-A. It definitely thought about Amazon. It thought about FedEx. It thought about Starbucks. Like when you are spot on. When you play, if anybody will pay attention to ads, because I do watch ads now, because like I'm trying to like learn to see what's connecting in the marketplace. And you're right, dude. Like even a Carvana ad, when they show that, a lot of times will be an employee providing a level of service to somebody.
Think about Delta. Those of you that are Delta, I'm a Delta snob. Dude, when you get on that plane, who's presenting the seatbelt deal? They have like all these employees over time, and they just seem like, man, they're happy to be here. And then they treat you, man, that, to your point, I love what you said there. Start at the nucleus.
My intro is even going to be different of this thing. All right, we are recording. Man, I'm so excited for this conversation right here. This should have been recording for the last 10 minutes. I've got a very special guest that goes, he goes way back. Like most of my guests, every person that I've had on the show so far, if anybody hasn't caught up, they're like, dude, these are the most random set of guests I've seen. You've got brand experts, you got marketing experts, you got dealers, you got owners. And it's because the way that this show has started is really like people that I consider close connections or either they're partners in this space. And so this gentleman here is both, both a partner and a friend who we actually got connected. And I'll let him tell his side here in a little bit. But we got connected through a great friend, a late friend, Mr. Mason McFalls, who I still love dearly to this day. And he left us way too quick. But he connected some really cool dots before he transcended and went on with JT here. And then also with my buddy out in Arizona. Why am I blanking right now? Cody and Jive. I was thinking about his company, Cody Jive. And there's been a few other people, but so connected for those two guys that I now call partners, friends, and we're doing some big things in the space. So today, I've got JT on today. And man, just the conversation that we were having before we go on, I'm excited for us to talk about a lot of things, infrastructure, with dealerships, but most importantly, we're going to dive into some marketing because this is a touchy topic as we're recording. This is August 2025, and it is a weird year in automotive. So I'm excited. This is the perfect time. So dealers that are looking for answers to traffic, that are trying to figure out how do I increase sales, how do I weather the storm as we get ready to go into this last quarter. I brought the right man to have a conversation. So without further ado, JT, how you doing, man?
Oh, doing awesome. The Cage, yeah. It's funny. Mason McFall amazing, incredible guy. So much energy. And I love that he really landed. He put the pegs in. So during this, but I've been creeping him while I was watching him over the years and a couple conferences, I rubbed elbows and I look up because he's so tall. So I look up, I'll be like, hey man, I've been watching, I'll see you, man. And there's a couple conferences, but man, I really am glad the relationship that we built and the networking amongst everything. And to our conversation, man, it's back to basics, man, in a lot of ways. And I know a lot of people hear that and see that, but sometimes we forget how important those basics are,
Yeah. And so just to give some context, who are you with, your company, how long have you guys been in business, and and how are you serving the industry?
Thank you for that's probably going to be helpful, but been in the business since 2002. Started out in retail sales, but Automotive Marketing Gurus is what I would say my flagship company that after being on the retail side for about a year, I jumped over to the partner side from CRM to
Mm-hmm.
marketing solutions. And there was a point in time where I just recognized that I was like, dealers need some help on their side. There's thousands of vendor partners, especially in the marketing and technology space. Like they may need somebody on their side.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of groups and a lot of dealers realize that. So marketing manager, marketing director roles come up. So anyway, in 2020 is when I created Automotive Marketing Gurus. And at first I thought it was going to be more of a consulting company. And it transcended into a virtual marketing team, virtual CMO, virtual marketing director, truly that. I remember launching it, and I had several clients, and I even had somebody I dearly respect and love, Mr. Larry Dorfman, CEO at EasyCare. He was like, why don't you just turn into an agency? And I was like, man, no, because then you'll have the fox guarding the chicken hen. I mean, I literally
Yeah.
had clients. JT, just no, man. You just do it all. Like you don't have to get these vendors, these partners. You don't need to do that. Like I'll just do it. And I was like, no, man, because when I call you, you're going to tell me your inventory's down, your salespeople are down, but I'm going to tell you need to spend more money.
Yeah.
And that was the light bulb really went off. And so we developed and grown to just over 120 stores across the country. I have 20 amazing people that support our clients in that realm and role of a virtual marketing director, virtual marketing manager. Over time, what I've found, because I've interviewed so many to bring them onto my team or just we work with them, and typically that role is undervalued, underrespected, undertrained. And so you have really talented people in these dealerships or in these roles, or they have mixed roles. They're like the BDC
Mm-hmm.
manager, BDC director, plus they do the marketing plus, because in the dealership world, how many things can you pack onto one person and
Right.
pay them $5,000 a month, while I'm still making 60 grand a month. So even if you shaved off 1,000 off your 60 to
Mm-hmm.
get to that person anyway, or added another person. And then along the way, we our primary focus and goal is to help dealerships spend less time and money on marketing so they can focus more on people and process, truly be an extension of them. And along the way, in 2022, I acquired and bought a company called, we renamed it to
Yeah.
Experience Development Center. It's a virtual call center. And you probably see this other plaque in the middle, Mojo. That is software to help automate 50 to 60% of an automotive marketing professional's job. And that's a person that's sitting in an agency
I like that.
or at a person in a dealership. And Mojo is designed to make better decisions around marketing using comparative data. And what I find is so many companies and so many technology solutions have dashboards and reports. But wouldn't you want to just be able to go, hey, Mojo, how's my marketing plan compared to other Ford dealerships of like size in similar markets? And then Mojo says,
Mm-hmm.
great question. Here's the answers. Would you like more recommendations? So that's where we're going, and that's what we're about. Small companies, all three, across all, we're probably about 65, 66 employees.
That's
So,
dope.
but we love what we do. I love the business, love the game. It's one of the staples of our economy, and I live here. I'll be here until I can't breathe anymore.
Dude, I love that. You said something before we get into the first question that I have for you. You said something that I think is so important that I wanna remind everybody what JT said that's so important that I'm seeing across the conversations that I'm having as well. He said it jokingly, but it's the truth about the stack of our employees just getting things added on top of them. Like a desk manager at a dealership right now might be confirming appointments, trying to have one-on-ones, trying to train, being on marketing calls sometimes, ordering inventory, and helping the team with social media. And BDC managers, I'm seeing it as well, where it's like they now have become a digital marketing manager, kind of like they're wearing this hat of digital marketing and BDC manager operations. And I think as technology, and I love what you just shared with Mojo, that as technology evolves, please get this in the hands of the people that have had all these extra roles, so that that way they can do things more efficiently. Because I'm seeing in the automotive industry a call to get back to simplicity and let people do roles of what they do very, very well, and then use technology to help suppress the rest. You know, like if you're going to have a smaller team because of expenses or whatever, at least employ that smaller team with technology so they're not drowning in work that's ineffective and it's not revenue generating tasks. So I'm glad you brought that up, man, because I get a lot of calls from people and it's like, Duran, I get it. You need me to do this, or my store wants me to do this, but I don't have any more time left. So how do you expect me to get the things done that I need to get done? And having tools like what you just shared, I can only imagine instead of having to dig for stuff, because that's always been the worst thing in automotive is you're always digging for reports and going to look for certain information. And if you can make that information easy to get where you can just have a voice conversation, dude, that's fire.
Spit
What
out
made
the
you bring
charts,
that
man.
up? Where did that come from?
So, it's funny when I started the company, I knew I wanted to get into technology because I had that
Mm,
background at some of the agencies I worked with, and it really just evolved. Like at first, it was going to be a tool that you would have to use, and
yeah,
then time progressed and AI began to develop. I was like, wait a minute, we need to build something that works for you in a way where you could ask, hey, every Monday I want this information, please and thank you. Is this
oh,
what you
that's
want every
good.
Monday? Yes. And but technology, if used at length, is so important, Duran. And yeah, I mean, the stacking of roles, and I was this is something we were talking about in the previous 10 minutes, was the book Traction by Gino Wickman.
Yeah,
Talks about the EOS entrepreneurial operating system. And I believe it's the second or third chapter that talks about roles and goals. Like every role should have a KPI and a goal associated to the duties and the tasks that they're doing. And if the duties and tasks that they're doing aren't associated to impact that goal, then that shouldn't be in their responsibility stack. Then you also have to just think
yeah,
about the time that it takes to do these things. But again, when you think about expenses and you have small teams, it's just about efficiencies. And that we use these words all the time, but KPIs,
yeah,
key performance indicators for every single person. Like when you think about accounting, what is their KPIs? When you think
yeah,
about a salesperson, it's kind of drilled in. We think about appointments, appointment sets, conversations. How many did they do this, and how many did they do that? It's funny to me, even when and I'll change the topic here, but it's funny to me that like sometimes people go, well, how many calls should a salesperson make, or something like that, and that would be a KPI. Like I require them to make 100 calls a day.
yeah.
Like, okay, so if they're delivering 2 cars that day, you still expect them to do 100. Uh, But at the same time, is like create ratios that make sense upon your business and what's going on.
Yeah,
And it's simple mathematical things of taking a ratio, taking one number and dividing it by another number. And let me give you an example of that. Like a store that gets a certain amount of leads or has a certain amount of salespeople probably has different ratios than another store. A store that has more inventory or
hmm,
less population, there are easy to develop ratios that can help develop KPIs that make sense for your store, your market, and it doesn't have to be this box of something that you read out of the NADA Academy, and that it's like that should be the number. And I think that's where we get twisted on a lot. And I love a lot of people are pushing towards engagement and conversations
sure.
as far as a percentage versus just total number. It drives me nuts right now. Large, massive 20 groups that dealers pay tens of thousands of dollars to go to. They have these composite reports,
Yeah,
and especially in ways of marketing, like I remember a dealer when he first started going, he's like, JT, why does my store only have 10,000 website visits and these other ones got 25, 30?
right.
Well, bro, he's in Dallas. You're in, Pacutka, Tennessee, like,
Right.
right? Right. Anyway, and
Hmm.
there's like small factors that just trip me out. But also, that's why I believe that providing insights and data that compare dealerships to one another, especially around marketing, it helps people really go, oh, okay, that makes sense. And you don't have to go to a 20 group. You don't have to be doing it for 3 years to remember and understand that a click through rate should be X or Y or Z, or who's the
Oh yeah.
best email marketing. Like, Should I be doing video or not? I mean, that's kind of a dumb question, but
No, that's good. And I would say, well, no, that's a good segue into, like kind of the first question, because I know dealers are leaning in like, all right, talk to
yeah,
us about marketing. What's working, JT? And I'm speaking this because a lot this content goes into the cage community as well. So all these dealers, GMs, they'll watch this along with the marketing teams and whoever else wants to. But I'm sure one of the pressing questions is what's working? What should I be doing as a dealer if I'm not getting the results that I'm doing or that I want from a marketing and advertising standpoint? What are you seeing in the space that's really moving the metal for car dealerships right now, or at least increasing the connection? Because we don't sometimes as vendors we don't actually sell the cars for a dealer, right? As partners, but if we can get the customers more engaged with them, I think that's a huge win.
Like I said at the very beginning, it's the basics. I would say number one, if your store is like 5 years or older,
Mm-hmm.
well, let me take that back. Number one, try to change the language of being a dealer to a retailer.
I like
That way,
that.
you put yourself in the same bucket as all other retailers, no matter who they are, Apple, Chick-fil-A, whatever it might be. Put yourself as another retailer offering products and services to people that they buy.
It's
That's like number
genius.
one. Yeah, change that mentality to go. That way, you don't always go, what do other dealers do? Go, what do other retailers
Retailers too.
do? And then stepping back, going back to the basics. If your store is, call it 5 years or older, or even
Mm-hmm.
younger, but just have a pristine environment for not only your customers to come into, but your
Yeah.
employees. Like, just make sure your environment. I mean, when you look outside and you see your signage, and there's like this rain mold that's coming off of your sign, it's like dripping down. It looks like it's like melting. You know what I mean? Or it's been bleeding. Like, get somebody out there to pressure wash that.
Mm-hmm.
2,000 bucks. Little stuff like that. And that's going to last for
Yeah.
another year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And it's going to make it, people are going to drive by and be like, oh, is that a new store?
Oh, that's good.
Like, number one, do it. We actually had a client we talked to, had a quick lane. I remember walking in there. I looked at the coffee maker, golly, I'm losing it. What's the K cups? What are they called? Keurig. Yeah.
Oh
Looked at
yeah.
the Keurig. It had mold growing around where the water went. Number one, it was empty. Number two, it had mold in there. So I said, man, do a spring cleaning. So that'd be number one. Do a spring cleaning. Like, take time, get your team, all hands in, guys. We're going to be clean offices, things off the floor, wipe things down. Something's out of place. Something looks
Yeah.
chipped. I want you to take a picture. Let me know so we can get it fixed. Keep those
Yeah.
bathrooms pristine. Bathrooms. I mean, y'all all know the Disney story. That's like one of their top things, man. Is where how clean your bathrooms are, and then where the trash cans are located. They're all located within 50 feet of each other because they don't want people throwing trash on the ground.
That's right.
But number one, do a spring cleaning. I think that you don't know how much instantly and the time and effort to do that. And your employees are going to be happier too. And if your employees are happier, they make their customers happier. So anyway, little things like that. Okay, so moving the needle, right? AI, CDPs, machine learning has all been the buzzword.
Yeah.
And AI is definitely there. You just have to understand what AI is. AI is, if you really break it down into this, it's a library and then something that's talking to you about what's in the library.
That's
That's
right.
what AI is. And you can tell AI to do instructions for you, and it's pulling information out of that library. So
Mm-hmm.
no matter what tool or technology you're using, it's like thinking about the library of information that they're pulling from. So, but don't get twisted, whatever tools or technology you use, the personalization and the customization
Yeah.
and the management is probably one of the most important things. You got to have a champion. One of the things that frustrates me at what I would say retailers, automotive retailers, is that they'll roll out tools and technology without getting their teams buy-in. If you're going to roll out technology, like, get your teams buy-in. Let them know what's going on. Let them have a yes, that could help me. Don't just
Yeah.
tell them next Tuesday we're using this, guys. We're starting this thing. It's going to help you. It's going to be better. Don't
Yeah.
sell it to them. Let them be sold by how you got sold.
Yep.
That's a massive thing. You're using a new company for something, get your team to buy in. And that's one area I believe retailers really don't do. And I'm not saying every single team member, but maybe your management. Of course, Durant always talks about it, but video, 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 video. I mean, that's obviously the people that are taking it to the next level is video. And I'm not just talking about doing social content video, but
Yeah.
communicating with video. That still stands people apart, especially in this virtual world of, I mean, golly, there's more jobs and people working from home. It's incredible. I mean, this remote environment, but storytelling through video, that's short clips builds trust, it builds visibility, makes people think that they already know you.
Yes,
They
sir.
already know you. And it could be it's a one-way video. I'm not talking about necessarily doing a Zoom or, just a one-way video. And I don't think, and the thing that we always think about is we go, man, I just can't get my people to do it.
Yeah.
Well, you need to look in the mirror and be like, why can't you get your people to do it? Is it comp plan? Is it a part of their roles and responsibilities? Is it your fear of losing team members because they're not following the new process that will help them take it to a next level? I've had companies, retailers say, well, I'm just going to have templated videos because my team won't do it, and then I'm going to automate them. I'm like, okay, that's kind of a step in the right direction, but let's go, guys. If you hire people to work with people face to face, then there's no different of it being recorded. So
Yeah.
obviously, video is a massive thing. Still, reviews. I think we all know that reviews are muy muy
Yeah.
importante, continuing to drive reviews, but it's not just about getting reviews, guys. It is about the experience. If you have such a great experience for your employees, they will create a great experience
Yeah.
for their customers. But the buck really, 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 really starts on onboarding your team members.
Yeah.
What does onboarding look like? Is it a 1 to 2 day shadowing deal? Get on Duran's training, do his little videos and then we're just so hyper focused on what sales training looks like versus technician training or service advisor, and then we run them through the gamut of manufacturer, what the manufacturer requires. Like, you got to check all these boxes, but first start with the experience. What does your retail location stand for?
Yeah.
Here's like the do's and here's like the do nots. What are your core values that really separate you and drive you? And again, some people think that vision, mission, and core values, like they're fluff, whatever, they're real. They should be guardrails of how to make decisions, how to hire, how to fire, and how to train people. But start it with experience. So that'd be another big thing. Um, Obviously, when you dive into digital, today's day, what I would notate is the move of generative AI that's
Yeah.
happening within Google and Bing. So content is going to be very, very important. Those of you that have decided that SEO may or may not work, like, you've really got to dive into it and be real SEO. You really got to look at your SEO. And when I say SEO, a lot of companies now have gotten smarter. They use ChatGPT to write content and put it on your site, and then you think that SEO has happened. Well, you really need to go and understand what SEO, like how it works, besides just putting words on your website. Like, that's it. It's You've got to have schema, you've got to have title tags and meta tags, and all these like nerdy things that you got to have a trusted company for. But SEO is to a degree way more important than your SEM, your paid search. So don't go down that black hole. There are so many clients that we work with today that don't use SEM at all, don't use paid search
Wow.
at all. I want you to think about this concept of, would I rather have somebody go into Google and type in best deal on Honda Accord, which then I want to spend money on paid search, right? I want to show up. I got the
Mm-hmm.
best deal on Honda Accord. But what if they just typed in Cage Honda? That's what you
Mm.
want. You ain't paying paid search. You ain't paying Google for that one. If somebody's coming in for Cage Honda. So how do you make more people? And then you go, well, shoot, I need television, I need radio, I need mail. No, 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 no. Create that great experience for your employees. It'll create a great experience for your customers, and then your customers are going to tell other friends and family, and becomes a domino effect. If you focused, instead of doing a $10,000 mailer every month, you put $10,000 into your employee experience every month, I'm watch it change the game. And if you look at these massive retailers, Amazon's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Look at some of their commercials. Their commercials aren't how you can get the best deal and how the
No.
shopping experience is. Blah, 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 blah. It's about their people. They're
Yep.
people wanting jobs and putting jobs. That's what it's about. And if you look at these massive retailers, that's what they focus on. And I would also say is, the other thing that's going to help boost us in 2025 and that I'm seeing that has been helping stores stay profitable at times where it's very tough to get sales is make sure you're blending in your fixed operations into your marketing mix. Sales, it's sexy, right?
Yeah.
You get selling a car, you get excited, but fixed operations and that experience and that effort back there is at times way more important than what you're doing on the front side. I mean, people will stop using a brand or stop going to a location because of a $19.95 or a $49.95 oil change experience.
Mm-hmm.
They don't leave you a review; they just don't come back.
That's the worst.
And then we're like, well, I can't keep technicians and I can't. Oh, really? Well, you spent $100,000 in advertising. Could you carve out 10 grand to give your technicians a little bit more to make it a little bit more appealing? Could you put signs at each one of their bays that makes them proud to come to work when they say boom? And this one's got champion because he's got the most line items per RO for your technicians, for your advisors, like giving them a little bit more. If you give them just these little micro bites of a little bit more, it goes so much further than the $3,000 in gas you're going to put in your boat for the weekend.
He
So
went there.
anyway, those are some of my most impactful things. Think about, go back. Number one, do a house cleaning. Two, AI, drill into it, get somebody smart and trusted where you're trying to implement it. But again, think about it as a library, and there's a tool that's just tapping that information automatically for you. Video, not just reviews and social proof, right? With getting reviews, but just create a great employee experience and employee onboarding. Do one-on-ones, sales meetings and service meetings all in a group is not a one-on-one. Do a one-on-one, spend 10, 15 minutes a week with your people. Really be ahead on SEO. And manage your inventory. What's funny when I say manage your inventory, manage your marketing to your inventory. It's so funny. I was on a 10-store group yesterday. Like, our used car leads are down. I'm like, man, did you know your inventory in the past 9 days has went down 40%? They're like, yeah, we did that on purpose. I'm like, well, if your inventory went down 40%, wouldn't you expect your leads to go down 30, 40%? Or were you expecting that to stay the same? Well, we're spending the same. Exactly. So whoever's leading and managing your marketing, you might.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. The agency goes, the dealer's like, yeah, our leads are down. The agency pipes up, yeah, you shouldn't change. Yeah, you shouldn't change your spend. And I text the owner. I said, see, when you got the fox guarding the chicken coop.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No,
those
that's
are some
good. No, this is incredible. So I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't thinking that everything that I was gonna write down started with the nucleus first. You know what I mean? That's what's so cool is if anybody paying attention, if you're writing notes too and following along with what JT's saying is you can he can create the dopest marketing plan for you, playbook out of for execution, with video and some of the things that he said towards the end. But if the core of your story is not connected, it's all a waste. And this is what I've been saying so much about AI. I love how, by the way, side note, I love what you said about AI pretty much is just having access to the library. It's because it's the truth. I mean, all it is you just stuck the whole internet and you put it in one place so you don't have to do what we did for so long, which is Google, search, go find something. Now somebody has opportunity to just have a little app where it's all given to you through voice, through video soon, or through word. But it doesn't matter how much technology that you get. If you get the best AI tools to get all the traffic in the world to come to your site, to convert that traffic, to get more people to your team, or maybe you use AI. You could use AI to talk to your customers. You could train it with voice, with text, do it all. But at some point, there's going to be a human interaction, right? There's going to be an experience that gets made, whether they show up to the store or whether it's your delivery person that goes out to them. That moment of experience right there is going to complement everything that you've built and done from a marketing play to the onboarding, or it's going to absolutely hurt your customers' feelings and they'll never come back again because everything was done right, technology and digital wise, but your people are absolutely horrible, you know. And I'm so thankful because with JT, what you could have done is you could have cut on here and you could have talked about every flashy thing that you know that's working. You know what I mean? You've been like, hey, well, when you do this, and if you take this video testimonial and you put this here, and or if you do this with your merchandising. But at the end of the day, if you know, and this is what we talked about before we got on, the one-on-ones, the culture, the bathrooms. I wrote that down because I was thinking of, I'm like, JT, what is the equivalent of a bathroom on a dealership's website? You know what I mean? Like, what is what part of the virtual showroom would almost be like the bathroom to a customer that when they see it, they're like, I can't believe somebody sits on that thing. Or they walk into this bathroom and they see it and they're like, this is immaculate. You know what I mean? And is it the about us section? Is it the meet the staff? Is it you know, but there's those certain areas on the website where we have those same experiences where it's like, oh my gosh, it's almost like no pictures. You know what I mean? A car that somebody's been looking at, they've been waiting for it to arrive. It shows that it's now there at the store. It's been there for a month and there's no pictures. That's like the nasty toilet experience. You're like, how do you have a $121,000 BMW or whatever vehicle it is? Shouldn't even have said a manufacturer, but just whatever vehicle it is, and to not have the full-fledged experience there. So you broke that down beautifully, right? In terms of how to connect the dots in your marketing plan, because some people, I think what this helps is that some people actually have a decent marketing plan or a good one. Maybe they have a good internal team or something like that, and they can't figure out why it's not all working. And you really just broke it down perfectly to, you know, hey, maybe start with what you have first. And
Well, Duran, I hate to cut you off, but one of the
no,
things,
keep going.
the easiest thing, dude, is like we focus on the what so
Yeah.
much that we don't focus on the how.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because it's got an H instead of the what, when, where. But the how, to your point, when you go to the website, we know because you're supposed to have pictures. We know that you want to have a clean experience, but then how are we getting them in that experience? And it's just the same things. Like we know we need to have salespeople or service advisors or whomever. We know that they need to make calls, but how? And that's why that onboarding, employee training, consistent, ongoing is so, again, to your point. Yes, I can talk about like, oh yeah, your foundational strategy of having all this, you know, you're supposed to be here, and this is the most impactful, but that don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
The most lucrative customer you get is a repeater referral customer
Yep.
in sales or service. And if your how is amazing, your how is a wow. Your how is a wow. You don't have to spend as much marketing. There's a quote that somebody says, they try to say Jeff Bezos say it, but I don't think so, is the price of advertising is the cost of an unremarkable product or service.
Yeah.
The price of advertising is the cost of an unremarkable product or service.
Man, you know what you said though, that's so fire that I never thought of. Well, I've thought of it, but not thinking of it as part of a marketing plan that you could have. But you said something, and I wrote it down. You said master retailers focus on employees. And I checked out of listening to you for like 45 seconds because my mind left you and it started thinking about Chick-fil-A. It definitely thought about Amazon. It thought about FedEx. It thought about Starbucks. Like when you are spot on. When you play, if anybody will pay attention to ads, because I do watch ads now, because like I'm trying to like learn to see what's connecting in the marketplace. And you're right, dude. Like even a Carvana ad, when they show that, a lot of times will be an employee providing a level of service to
Think
somebody.
about Delta. Those of you that are Delta, I'm a Delta snob. Dude, when you get on that plane, who's presenting the seatbelt deal? They have like all these employees over time, and they just seem like, man, they're happy to be here. And then they treat you, man, that, to your point, I love what you said there. Start at the nucleus. Instead of that $10,000 on advertising, mailer, whatever, spend that $10,000 on creating, when you go in there and they, when employees come to work, like when they're onboarded, I call it Tier-4 marketing. I call it Tier-4. A lot of people
I
think
like that. Tier-4.
a lot of people went to Tier-4. They go,
You
well,
broke the
Tier-4 is
fourth
like
wall. JT broke the fourth
Tier-4
wall. He said,
marketing.
people, I bet you need to coin that Tier-4
Dude,
marketing.
Tier-4 is marketing to
Tier-4.
and communicating with your team.
I like
Like,
that.
do you have, hey, email goes out to the entire company. We have a goal of doing these things. Here's how I think we can get there. We'll talk about it in our meeting. We'll talk about it in our one-on-ones. But Tier-4 marketing, internal communications and internal, like, imagine you have 100 employees. 10 of them are salespeople, 10 of them are service advisors. So call it that, right? And you have all these other people. With the right culture, the right communication, and the right Tier-4 marketing, you have 100 salespeople.
Wow. You broke it down, and this makes sense. I challenge anybody that's watching this show that after you watch this, get with your team or get with JT, whoever, and connect on doing a even if it's just a social media low budget post, like where you go around and ask each employee where they're from, how long they've been there, and why do they love working at your dealership, and record that and then put that together in a stream of content to go out for the next few weeks and watch what happens.
It
Those
performs, dude,
views.
hands down. Go to Bozard Ford, one of the most massive Ford stores, very well known for what they do. I can't remember his name. He's be mad at me if the fixed operations director. Dude, I see their posts. They do a lot of posts. They know social media is a play. They do a lot of posts. Vehicles, awesome. Got music going, boom, edited. It looks great. That sucker will get 10 likes.
Yeah.
Right? They do a post to somebody that got a promotion or something. Hundreds of likes, hundreds of comments. People enjoy people, man. And that's what you got to start with. None of the magic happens without the people.
It makes sense, though. It makes sense because if you think about it, put social media out. Like, let's say social media doesn't exist. Let's say before social media, then whenever there was employee recognition, it was bring your family to work day, right? So like it was somehow, hey, all once every 3 to 6 months, and some dealers probably still do this. They bring an employee appreciation event where, hey, we want you to bring your family, we want you to bring your kids. And I guarantee you, once they have that event and they give awards, to your point, on stage and get people fired up and tell stories about what they've done, I bet you the sales after that is just phenomenal because all those people, all those employees and their families, their husbands, their wives, their partners, their kids are now in the marketplace talking about that for the next, you know what I mean? Like they are now becoming advocates of the business. And I think that's what's happening on social media is because you and I know whenever somebody posts something, it's the people that you're connected to that see it the most. So if you took 100 employees that had a big event and they're all on social media, you take all those 100 employees that are connected to another 50 to 100 people each. That's why it goes so viral because we always cheer on our buddies and friends that are employees before we're cheering on a customer that bought a car.
Absolutely. And the thing is consistency. We'll do a holiday party once a year, right? We're like, oh, we do that once a year. That ain't enough. Think about it. If your wife or husband only did something special for you only once a year, it probably gets pretty mundane. You only go on a date once a year. You only do employee appreciation once a year where you call people out. You got to be consistent and have discipline around, really, really showcasing that. So let
me ask you a question. If somebody, so we're going to say, because we're kind of bringing it towards the end. So I want to give somebody some, I think this has been very actionable about some of the steps that people can take. So you laid that out. But let's say somebody has that core down right. So we got our team, we got our employees, they're trained, they've gone through their onboarding, but they're thinking about doing something fresh from a marketing standpoint or advertising, branding, whatever that is. What's maybe one thing that they could do that most dealerships maybe are not leaning into right now if they've got everything else set up? Away from Tier 4 now, because Tier
Yeah,
4
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
already
Well,
one
hold
good one,
on.
so they could put
Don't
that in
post me
there.
on Tier 4. I want to make one comment. Hopefully, people that are still listening engaged on their Tier 4. Get a peer-to-peer sharing program. Peer-to-peer meaning
Cool.
if another team member does something good, they get points, and those points can be cashed in for things. And every month, every employee gets points. And so you can look at programs like Bonusly, that you give team members points when they do good things. So then then the management's not always the one that has to praise people and give things away. So like your allotment could be like $10. I mean, literally $10. And it's 100 points, but they can give 5 points, 10 points to different people when they get help. So my last note on that, if you don't have one, get a peer-to-peer awards and incentive program. That could be very impactful. Okay. All the boxes are checked. Inventory's lined up, merchandised right. Tier 4 is good. Culture is strong. Good market settings. My CRM processes are dialed in. I mean, people are getting engagement. So you got all the check boxes. That's usually whenever people ask a question, my sales are down. I always go, well, how's your market? How's your merchandising? And how's your people and process? And the last thing I touch on is marketing and marketing efficiencies. So I would say the one huge, massive thing to focus on, and this actually is something that you've got to be very customized on and how you do it, and the technologies that you use and the processes that you use, is really, really honing in on being able to switch customers to other cars. We think at times our closing rates suck because we're not doing X, Y, and Z. If we were able to train, and there are systems that help you switch people better. And to give you a prime example of that is when we just high level use a third-party marketing provider and the X amount of leads per month. But this one car got 25 leads and you sold the car. So you got 19 leads left over.
Yep.
So when we look at our CRM data and CRM reports, we're like, look at this. The closing rate is not good. It's either the lead provider sucks or my team's not doing something.
Yeah.
Well, and then the value is, and the aspect is being able to communicate with a customer in a way and use technology and also use training processes to say, hey, Durant, listen, man, I got good news. I got great news. What do you want first? Well, the good news is that car you wanted, that you looked at, that you were going to come in on Friday to look at, is sold yesterday. But the great news is I got something else that I want to show you, but I need you to come down here today because it might be gone tomorrow. It might be gone tomorrow. And, even from a new car perspective where people want very specific things and they've ordered very, very, very specific things, still get people down, train and communicate in a way where people will come down and look at a different color and look at a different trim to go in to look at that brand new spring or now about to be fall cleaning showroom that you just did, and that phenomenal experience from your Tier 4 marketing that you've implemented. And they go, this is where I'm coming. It don't matter if they get a mailer. It don't matter if they see a commercial. It don't matter if they see a social ad. They don't get an email. Nothing. This is where they're going.
That's it. Right online. Man, that's good.
So you can see I focus more on the big macro than the micro, man. The micro is like what people want to sell. They want to sell the in between. You do this. And it's like, man, there ain't no magic silver bullet, man. It all stems from leadership, culture, and everything else falls into place. People will do the right things. You will just walk. You're like, that person just does the right things.
Dude, this is fire. We got to do this again, JT. We're going to have to make this happen. There's going to be a lot of shorts that come from this and a lot of nuggets. But most importantly, thank you so much for sharing your time, your energy, and your wisdom. And I want people to know, what's the best way for them to connect with you, JT?
Go to our website, and we've got amg.team, xdc.team.
Okay.
Check us out. Always find me on LinkedIn, Jonathan Thompson Marketing. My name is super common, but if you add marketing on there, I pop up. So,
so that last part again, I'm going to ask one more time. The best way for people to connect with you, JT, is
visit our website amg.team. Find me on LinkedIn, or type in Jonathan Thompson Marketing. You can see the content. And all I can say, if you want to get a little dazed, hang out with your boy Cage. Let's go.
And JT, man, you've been great, dude. Well, thank you so much. Until next time, thank you for all this love, this energy, all these notes. I mean, I got tons of them, and I hope you all do as well. And then I'll make sure it's easy to find JT in the description and obviously in our group chat below. But JT, until next time, appreciate you so much. We'll do this again, bro.
Thank you, Duran. You have a good one, brother. Thank you.
All right, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Gratitude. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. It's always great, and I thank you for it. So if you could do me a big favor, fam, if you want more videos like this, please like, subscribe, comment, share this out. And hey, if you want to see something different, or if you have some feedback for me, send me a message. Love to hear back from you. But until then, thank you all. Keep winning. Be well.